Here at these games right now than Becky Hammon, the Rapid City, South Dakota native who is playing for Russia in this Olympic tournament. Here's Lester Holt with more.
United States of America.
Was there a moment during the opening ceremony when you looked over and saw Team USA walking out that your heart fluttered a little bit, that there was a tinge of regret that you weren't there?
No, not a moment. Like I said, this decision's been made and it's been settled and I'm at peace. This path has been so much bigger and greater than even if I had been on the U.S. team. The only thing that when they walked in, I was saying, dang, they look good in those outfits. They were looking real good in their threads.
In her perfect world, Becky Hammon would be sitting down for this interview wearing those USA colors. But she says the American team made it clear they didn't want her. And Becky was determined to play in the Olympics, no matter what.
I was never seriously considered, and we had lots of conversations between agents and GMs and coaches, and you know, there just wasn't very much encouragement on that front for me, so I kind of had to let that go and open my mind and open my heart to whatever other opportunities came my way.
You sound at peace with it now, but was there a moment of bitterness?
Absolutely. You know, I'm human just like the rest, and things I think were said and maybe feelings hurt, feelings of rejection. I mean, rejection or feeling like a failure on any level doesn't feel good.
And for those who think that playing for the Russians was to spite the Americans?
Absolutely not. I'm 31 years old. I'm not going to be 35 making the U.S. team anytime soon.
It was now or never.
It was now or never.
She is hardly breaking new ground. Chris Kaman of the LA Clippers plays for Germany. American J.R. Holden plays for the Russian men's basketball team. But Becky, with her all-American girl-next-door image, has become the lightning rod for critics, even once referred to as unpatriotic by the American coach. Extreme reactions, just as her mother had warned her.
You know, my mom had a very emotional reaction when I first started talking to her about it. You know, she comes from that generation, and for her, you know, she just didn't want anybody beating up on her baby.
Did she tell you not to do it?
No, she didn't.
Did she tell you she was disappointed?
No. She was disappointed I wasn't on the U.S. team, but she wasn't disappointed in me. You know, she comes from a different generation. I understand that, but 1980, when the Russians invaded Afghanistan and the U.S. boycotted, I was 3 years old. You know, I don't remember that.
Not that she was welcomed with open arms in Russia.
They had come out in the media, some of the captains of the Russian team, and said, you know, we don't want a naturalized player. You know, we only want a Russian girl.
But that was nothing compared to what Becky was hearing at home.
I can't think of anything that would stab deeper in the heart than for someone to call me or anyone to be called a traitor, and yet you heard those words. How did you react to that?
Well, obviously, at first glance, you know, the words sting a little bit, but I also take into consideration that most of the people that have been saying these things don't know me. For me, I got lots of Americans pulling for me because they know me and they know where my heart's at on this whole situation. For me, that's who I play for, and I love my country, but I'm just a basketball player. I mean, this is not life or death.
Becky Hammon and Russia going 4-1 in preliminary round play here in Beijing. Hammon is currently the Russian team's leading scorer with an average of 12.4 points per game. Both Russia and the USA are through to